incredibly shameful for UUA moderator Jim Key to brazenly lie in you know, what was supposed to be an apology to clergy misconduct victims.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Persecuting the innocent again.
Persecuting, oh, that's a good one.
That's just totally unfair. You're not a fair person.
John, you're either in deep, deep, deep psychological denial, or you're a crazy liar. One or the other.
Well, I don't think so. I mean,
I think
that's
so.
clearly impugning something that isn't true. That doesn't happen here.
We discussed this.
I know,
John,
John, discussing with you is not really too satisfying an experience.
You just said that doesn't happen here. I've already made it clear to you that I'm protesting what the UUA did. So
yes, but it's not fair because it looks like you're saying that something happened here.
No, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that.
It doesn't literally say that, but anyone with half a wit will say,
sorry.
"Oh, look at that, pedophilia and rape in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal."
Here's another thing, John. See, these picket signs are meant for you and other members of the church as much as anyone else. You should be outraged that the UUA tried to misuse Canadian blasphemy law to try to hide pedophilia and rape. You should be concerned.
You from making unfair accusations against people you don't even know who live in a different country.
What are you talking about? I read the newspaper reports, John.
Everything that's in the news is public, and so there's no cover-up about that.
John, I've already explained it to you. I don't know. You're either incredibly stupid or you're an incredible liar, because I've made it clear. These picket signs, it says right here, Unitarian Universalists. More specifically, the leaders of the Unitarian. John, let me finish.
Church.
Right. I'm allowed to be in front of this church.
We are not American Unitarian Universalists.
I'm allowed to protest against what American Unitarians have done in front of this church or other churches. I'm sorry. I told you before, I can't go down to Boston every weekend, John.
You're allowed to be who you are.
I'm allowed. Yeah, well, you're allowed to be who you are and think what you think and be an idiot, basically. So. And I know. If I was you, John, I would really exercise my right to remain silent, because you really do look not only stupid but complicit in UUA cover-up and denial of clergy sexual misconduct. The fact that you erased my chalk slogans makes you complicit in cover-up of Unitarian Universalist clergy sexual misconduct and cover-up thereof.
Well, I don't know. I think maybe you're trying to pressure us into doing something, but there's nothing that we can do.
Oh, you're wrong, John. You're wrong.
Well, I think you're trying to bully us into
I'm bullying
what
you.
Want.
Oh, that's funny. I seem to recall you guys bullying me into doing what you want. So, so I don't think I'm bullying. I think I'm engaging in perfectly legitimate, peaceful public protest against very, very serious perversion of justice and outrageous hypocrisy on the part of the UUA.
You just didn't like what a minister said to you, and
I just didn't like. Oh, see, that's funny. Well, you don't seem to like what I'm saying. You don't seem to like what I'm saying.
But it's slander.
It's not slander. It's not slander at all. It's actually far more.
Insinuation.
It's a false insinuation. I seem to recall
being obnoxious to people who like to go to church on a Sunday morning.
Right. Oh, yeah, it's being obnoxious.
You're not a fair person.
I'm
you
not
claim
a fair
to
person.
be
That's when you said it. You said I was a fair person a couple of weeks ago. It's a travesty. John, you know, I'll remind you one more time, you really would be better off exercising your right to remain silent, because you don't look too good.
Your opinion is kind of, you're the only one who has your opinion.
No, you're wrong, John. You're actually wrong. A lot of people, I've already told you, 8 out of 10 people who stop and ask...
People who stop in front of your face will say, "Oh yes, very nice," and walk on.
No.
As soon as they get 5 feet away, they go, "Oh my goodness, what a guy!"
John, you really are an idiot. It's becoming clearer and clearer, because actually, no, we've had some. In fact, I had a discussion earlier. I had
innocent people from going to their Sunday worship.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm actually.
You have obscene language on large signs.
Obscene language.
Yes.
Oh, a pedophile and rape.
It's discouraging people from.
Well, John, I told you.
Church of their choice.
I told you what you can do, and other Unitarians. As I said, you should. As I said,
you're trying to bully me into what I should do. There's nothing I can do for you.
You're wrong, John.
Anything I can do to help you in good conscience.
Here, you can do in good conscience.
What?
Regarding this specific sign, picket sign?
You choose.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I think I've already told you, but I'll tell you one more time.
Okay.
As I said, this is a false accusation that the UUA made. You can write to President Morales.
Why should I write to anybody?
John, you asked me. John.
Are you going to write to anyone on my?
So hang on. So what you're saying? No, hang on. What you're saying is you are fine. You are fine with the UUA accusing me of blasphemous libel to try and have me. Oh, you're fine. Okay, fine. Well, then don't write to them.
You made accusations that you don't even know these people.
What are you talking about? I read the newspaper reports, my friend. I know the truth based on the newspaper reports. I've spoken to people.
There are people who don't agree. Not every accusation is founded. You know.
Not every. Oh, okay.
You don't know these people.
I see. So what you're saying is maybe Mac Mitchell was falsely convicted.
So I am not going to write a letter to anyone on your behalf, and I don't think I should.
Okay, well that's fine. I guess you can have me outside with these picket signs for a while yet. Then.
Well, that's because you're totally unreasonable.
No, actually, you're the one who's unreasonable.
16 years stuck. Your life is not really in control. You're not.
Yeah, my life's not in control here. Well, I think I'm mastering my destiny right now. So that's John Ender, totally clueless president of the Unitarian Church of Montreal, doing his very best to pretend that my protest has no legitimacy and that I'm slandering the church by telling the truth about the UUA's attempted misuse of blasphemy law. And, as I was trying to tell John, but he wasn't really interested in hearing, is no, actually, a real Unitarian. We'll talk about Unitarians, because up here in Canada, pretty well every church is a Unitarian church. They don't say Unitarian Universalist. They've tried to tag on the Universalist stuff in recent years. But in real terms, the vast majority of Canadian Unitarian Universalist churches are actually Unitarian churches. There's hardly any Universalist ones. So anyway, my point is that as a Canadian Unitarian, John Ender, to say nothing of every single other Canadian Unitarian, should be outraged and appalled that the Unitarian Universalist Association would falsely accuse a person of the criminal act of blasphemous libel for any reason whatsoever. Just the fact that the UUA cited Canada's blasphemy law in an effort to try and intimidate me into removing blog posts, regardless of what the subject might be, is totally out of whack with Unitarian Universalist principles and Unitarian Universalist religious history. But John Ender and other Canadians should be especially appalled that the UUA accused me of blasphemous libel for the specific purpose of trying to intimidate me into removing blog posts about Unitarian Universalist pedophiles and or rapists.
Guy out here today.
I'm doing okay. Had a wonderful conversation with the president of the church.
Oh, good. Today?
He's in total denial of everything.
Okay.
So I got it all recorded. I told him, I said you should exercise your right to remain silent because you don't look too good.
That's good. Don't stay out too long.
I'm almost done, yeah. So this gentleman, he is generally quite friendly, and he has in the past expressed his concern about protesting in cold weather, but I've actually got a very warm winter jacket on. I'm basically fine. The only thing that's a bit cold are my fingers, because I have rather thin gloves on. I could and should probably have a better pair of gloves on. But other than that, I'm basically fine, even though it is quite cold and windy to boot. But it's just funny how John Inder just doesn't get it. You know, it's the vast majority of people who do stop and interact with me, or otherwise indicate, you know, what they feel about this protest, are supportive. Now, this guy's not, you know, he didn't say anything specifically, you know, in terms of the protest, you know, one way or the other. He's basically just concerned in terms of, you know, whether I'm cold or not. But he certainly didn't condemn me. And the fact of the matter is that somewhere in the order of 80 to 90% of the people who do interact with me do so in a supportive and affirmative manner. Hello. So John is just incredibly foolish. I mean, it's truly stunning, you know, the level of psychological denial, willful ignorance, and I really do have to say, he really is looking just stupid and foolish in his attitude. You know, he just trying to pretend that you know, there's absolutely nothing he can do to resolve the situation, when in fact there's plenty he could do. And as I tried to point out to him, you know, if he and other Canadian Unitarians wrote to the Unitarian Universalist Association and demanded an explanation from UUA President Peter Morales and UUA moderator Jim Key,
Question.
Pardon?
Une question.
Oui.
Moi, faut que j'aille à 61-77. Faut que je prenne la 90 pour aller à la rue Saint-Jacques.
Saint-Jacques, ça c'est bien dans l'ouest.
Par là-bas?
La 90, ici. Ouais. Donc, vous pouvez prendre ici.
Celui-là va m'emmener direct à 61-77?
Oui, oui.
Ouais, ok.
Okay. So, anyhow, getting back to things, you know, there are things that John Inder and every other member of this church can do to basically bring my protest to an end, but they don't want to do them, so the protest continues. In my opinion, and I think most people will agree with me, you know, Canadian Unitarians should actually be